All right, welcome back. We are live for this very important update for October 5th. Some of you may know, if you haven't heard, that if you are using Windows, do not update to the October update version, update 18.09, I do believe. If you update, it's possible you may lose all of your files. I'm not sure what the bug is, but apparently the bug deletes all of your files, but it saves your empty folders. No, it's not a joke. This is not a news and nonsense report, but I posted a video, and some of you might be getting the wrong message. Okay, some of you are thinking, well, I'm going to Linux where it's safer. It's not. Remember, I tried Ubuntu 1404, 1604 while back as a full install. I did some updates and all of my files terminated. So if you think you're safer in Linux, not necessarily. The point of this is backup, backup, and backup again. You can never have too many backups. So that being said, yes, the latest Windows 10 update is a major poo-poo. But if you think you will be necessarily safer in Linux, no, because it's happened to me. So the point is backup and backup again. Now Mac, I don't have a Mac, so I don't know, but I'm guessing it happens in Mac also. Nothing is 100% safe. Nothing, it doesn't exist, forget about it. So before you guys start trashing Windows 10, justifiably so, and thinking you're safer in Linux, forget about it. Do we get that straight? Okay. So, I'm not going to be on late tonight. I'll have a few people join in on the live chat, and then I'm going to bed. It's been a long day. But I want to make this clear that no matter what you use, you need to back up every single day, every single week, every single month. That's up to you. I have multiple external hard drives and USB sticks. So if I lose anything at one time, it's not entirely lost. I hope this makes sense. All right. So let's see who's in the live chat here. We'll talk a little bit. I'm going to bed after this. So, Yugi, Pizza, Lost Gnostic. Glad you never used or installed Windows 10. Okay, Nils, you have backup. I know. Glad you have backup of your empty folders. That made me laugh. I know. You back up important stuff on USB sticks and some on Google Drive. Okay. Very good. Use whatever works. Google Drive is fine. I still prefer tangible, something tangible in my hand for hard drives or USB sticks, starting with this little USB stick here. But again, just to be clear, you are not necessarily safer in Linux because here's the funny part. I've never lost anything in Windows, only in Linux, twice. I'm so lucky. All right, let's send out a couple invitations and then I'm going to bed. All right, there's one. I usually do shows Friday nights. I didn't have one scheduled tonight. There was no sponsor for tonight, so that's why I wanted to chat or to chill. Maybe chat tomorrow or Sunday. Timo, welcome. How are you? Again, I'll stick around for about a half hour. Let's see who else we get in the chat. All right. Ricky, you can go in. Pizza, you can go in if you wish and share your thoughts, but you're not going to change my mind. I'm doing fine, Timo. Yes, my flu, my cold mostly is gone. I wasn't planning on being on tonight, but this was just too important. So I'm doing my civic duty and warning you guys to back up and back up again. as many times as I told you guys back up and you don't back up and you lose stuff still, you come to the wrong channel for sympathy. Well, maybe just a little bit of sympathy.
Hey!
What's up, man? Is that the better one? Okay.
Yep, it
USB. Okay. No static. Very good.
It's a Logitech H390.
Very good. I think I have something like that. Yeah, that's got the volume control in the line, I think, and the cord. If I'm not mistaken. It's a good one.
Yep, it's right here.
Decor, what am I warning about? If you're using Windows 10, like I do sometimes, do not run the latest update. It's not a forced update, by the way, I think. If you run the latest update, it's possible you will lose all of your files, but you can save your deleted folders, your empty folders.
Though I have this funny feeling that Microsoft will make it automatic eventually.
I think they'll probably fix it by next week, so that's the warning. And some of you are thinking you're safer in Linux, not necessarily.
No.
I've lost files in Linux twice, not in Windows. So it can happen. It can happen. The point is back up and back up again.
Yep.
I don't want to repeat myself over and over, but that's why I'm jumping on tonight, because I think the wrong message is being sent that you're safer in Linux. No, you're not. Not necessarily. Mac, I don't know. I don't have enough experience. I need to ask Stephanie next time. Next time she comes on the show. Anyway, that's what's going on, daycare. Or Decor, not daycare. Woodbeast, Acronis True Image is great. I've heard of Acronis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cronus, whatever it's called. Ben, I sent you a link. If you want to jump on, now's the time to do it. I won't be on too long, so.
So when's the next private chat gonna happen?
Don't know yet. I gotta get a topic going, then I'll send out some invitations. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Linux. For all the thank yous to the patron PayPal support, but I think that one will be public. So just as a thank you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some stuff Sunday morning. Good morning, Linux. So.
Mm.
Yes, Lost Gnostic says, what? Microsoft Automatic Disk Cleaner? Yeah, it really cleans it. Yeah, it did. It's been bleached, terminated.
But yeah, this update is very concerning.
It can happen. Benjamin Eldridge. I was an Apple fanboy a while back. I will say it was rock solid as far as you could tell, but that was to 2011. So who knows what it's doing now? I don't know. Like I said, next time we get Stephanie on the show, we'll ask her if she's ever lost anything in Mac. I don't know. I don't know. But it doesn't matter what you use. You need to back up regardless. So, Steve, I think you jumped on. I guess you had issues. Not Steven. Steve's very own, right? I think you jumped on. Yeah, there you go. Peter Brown, hello. So Steve Zavarian, you had some issues, right? Did you lose your stuff, or was it something else? Mark, you can jump on if you wish. Again, I won't be on too late tonight, so. I was actually going to go to bed, but then I saw this early today. I said, you know what, this is really important. So, anyway. Steve Zarion, you want to jump on and tell us what's going on with your situation?
My new drug and opioid addiction discussion video has gotten a few good views already.
Okay. Yeah, that's on my list. I haven't done enough research yet on it, but I'm getting there. DT backups. What's that? Mr. Unstable is in the house.
Mr. Arch.
Mr. Arch himself. I think DT backs up his beer, his southern beer and stuff. That's about it. Oh man. Anyway. Your wife's whole system, Steve, went kafooey. Wow. Yeah, Mac OS has something called Time Machine for backups. I'm not sure how that works, but I have heard of it. Yeah.
They've used Time Machine for many years.
Okay. All right. Just the lighting here.
It has something called Time Machine for backups. I'm not sure how that works.
All right, Ben.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
Let me pause my TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so guys, toss, voila!
Oh
Which-
my God!
Isn't it beautiful, Ricky?
HP, is that what it is?
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
the
a
new
robot.
computer?
Yes, doesn't it look beautiful, man?
That looks very similar to mine.
It's only beautiful if you backed up today.
That was funny, dude. I just got the thing, and you'll never believe what OS is on it.
What?
Chrome OS.
Very good.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? You guys are going to be the first to see this. I'm going to turn it on right now.
Yeah, DT, go have a beer. Have one on me.
Yeah.
En-
speaking
enjoy
of-
yourself.
This stupid, my Dell's still running Arch, funnily enough, and I gotta tell you, I'm not happy with it. I'm actually
Okay.
thinking of switching to like Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate, maybe just something more stable. Because I gotta tell you, Arch is not stable. It's crap. I'm hating it. I mean, these source-based OSs, I really just don't care anymore. I mean, honestly, the more I go back and forth, the more I think about it, I don't like it. I really don't.
Well, I have a poll out. You guys can vote for the best Linux distro for 2018. You're welcome to put Arch if that's your favorite. It does not have to be something for newbies,
Yeah.
but that's up to you.
I say for me, mine would have to be Peppermint.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, look at this, Ricky.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
Chrome OS, dude.
Does
How's it
that
work?
say
Cloud ready at the top. Nah.
I wouldn't use cloud services, to be honest?
Yeah, I'm thinking of just wiping this and putting some kind of form of Linux or something on it.
is it fast, Ben? Is it fast on that machine?
I
Chrome
haven't
OS?
actually logged into it fully yet.
Okay. Hi, Heather.
Yeah.
I also got me this new device in the mail.
Yeah.
What this is I can hook this up to my computer and I can use different types of media formats. I can use memory sticks, SDs, and compact flash. Which the compact flash is going to be important because I'm going to be using this thing.
Huh. What's that, a SATA adapter?
It is for a compact flash card because it'll make the compact flash card act as a hard drive. There's no spinning platter in this thing like a normal hard drive. So in theory, I'm hoping that a Linux distro will operate a little bit faster.
Well, I can already tell that Chrome OS is going to suck because it wants me to sign into it.
Ben, is that a business class HP? There's a question.
If that's what people are asking, yes. It's an Ivy Bridge Intel 4000 laptop, yes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got it in the mail.
Matthew, welcome. Matthew, did you hear about the Windows update?
Yeah, Matt, if you want to come on and join us, feel free, man.
Is it what's the number of that update?
What,
1804, I think, is the one that I don't think it's a forced update as far as I know.
Hey there, Steve.
I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a for Matt, if you want to join us for a little bit, I just sent the link. I won't be on too late tonight.
Hello. Yeah. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good. How are you?
How you doing, Pizza?
Pizza and Steve. So, Steve, what happened?
Yeah. Hey, Pizza, I don't know if you saw this, but this, my friend, is my new laptop.
Oh, is it?
It's an
Is it a
HP
Chromebook?
4540S ProBook.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could. I don't really understand the point of buying a Chromebook because I could get like a
It's not a
refurbished.
Chromebook, dude. It's just a normal laptop running Chrome on it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. I don't get. I was gonna say.
It's
don't
not
get
a
the point of-
Chromebook, man.
Yeah, I was
Not
gonna
by
say.
any means of the word.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I don't see the point of buying Chromebooks because you could just get a refurbished ThinkPad for like $70 and put Neverware on there.
Yeah. I was gonna, go for Lenovo laptop, but this one was more of what I was looking for, man.
Steve,
I
is your
only-
mic on, Steve? I can't hear you. Yeah, check your settings and let us know what happened.
My only issue with Neverware is I sort of wish it had Android apps on it.
Yeah.
I also got this little thing too. 16 gigabyte USB flash drive. It's a SanDisk.
Nice.
I'm going to be getting over the next few months, like once a month, I'm going to get a flash drive. I'm going to start stocking up.
I actually had a 256 gig flash drive in it, but I lost it because it was one of those really small ones. I don't get why
Hey,
you
Matt.
get a super small flash drive. They're easy
Hey,
to
man.
use.
Steve, yeah, we still can't hear you, bud. I don't know.
And you asked me in the chat if I heard about the update. I uploaded a 32-minute long video talking.
Did you?
about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I found all kinds of bugs that weren't in the official bug list. So I
Okay.
found those too.
Yeah, Matt, you're gonna find this odd, but look, my new laptop came with Chrome OS on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the seller shipped on it, and it actually came with Chromium instead of normal Chrome on it.
Tim!
I can tell you that it's out of date because the modern version of Chromium has material design. That one,
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Tim,
you need to update that.
give me a T. Give me an I. Give me an M. It's Tim.
Do we think we could get Spatry on here?
Hi, Tim.
You can try.
Oh, jeez. No, he won't. I won't hear the end of it. What's up with malware Tad?
It's 11 o'clock. He's probably in bed.
Yeah. Hi, Tim. How you feeling, bud?
Take this
It'd be kind of awkward if I was on the stream with him because of my video called my video where I basically debunked his Linux does what Win don't video.
Yeah, we have some more footage for that. The his recent upload that he did, the what was it called? Windows does what Linux won't.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna be using some stuff from the video I made about Windows, and he's gonna be doing a part 2.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, actually, on that video, I could clearly tell he was being sarcastic the whole time.
I know, but this time he's gonna crank it up a little because with all the bugs that build 1809 of Windows 10 has, there's only one good feature. If I right-click inside of a directory, it gives me the option to open that directory in a Linux bash shell.
Yeah.
That's like the only good feature.
Hope you're getting better, Tim. We miss ya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
So, yeah, it's got a ton of problems. If you want to know what they all are, I mean, there's a video. I mean, there's a lot.
Sorry for.
Well, I got the
background noise.
notification today, and don't think you're necessarily safer in Linux. I've lost files in Linux, I think with Ubuntu once. I did updates and all my files vaporized. So it can happen. The point is back up and back up again no matter what you use. Okay?
Well, the problem is that Microsoft isn't testing. The color palette and the theme is broken. The audio drivers for Intel are broken. The file deletion problem. There's performance issues all over the place. It's just one problem after another with
Yeah.
build.
Tim, are you okay? Not to change, but you said you were 2 nights in the hospital with pneumonia. I mean, are you okay, bud?
Yeah, man.
That's not good, obviously. So, yeah.
Sorry if you hear my keyboard. It's because I'm gaming in the background.
No, I don't think I hear it.
I'm playing. Oh, well, I'm playing Gmod.
I don't hear it.
No.
Yeah. I don't know how to update this Chrome OS. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this thing.
Well, Cloud.
What did they
Cloud-
install? Did they install Cloud Ready or what?
I haven't used anything on this yet, Matt. I'm totally.
Yeah,
All I did
you
was
boot it up. You should see the boot screen. If it's Cloud Ready, it'll say Cloud Ready on it.
Cloud Ready. It's telling me free and then pricing and then all this other junk.
Okay, well, you go to the About section of Chrome, and then you hit the, and it'll just update if it's proper Cloud Ready. If it's not proper, then you'll have to download a new image.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Hold on.
Chrome OS is like the easiest possible thing to use in the world. If you can't figure that out, you should give up on computers.
I think
And-
Tim F uses Chrome
Oh,
OS
okay.
Chromebooks all the time, right, Tim?
I figured it out.
I'm on a Chromebook right now, and this is all you do. You go down here, you go over here, you go to the settings and go to the bottom, and if there's an update, it just automatically.
Yeah, I found it. I just typed in about
okay.
/ Chrome and then that got it.
And if it's a new enough build, you get the Google Play Store also.
Yeah.
That is on every Chromebook. My Chromebook doesn't get that.
DT says Chrome OS sounds hard. Glad you're on Arch.
Yeah, it's the Play Store isn't on every Chromebook. That's why I bought this Chromebook.
Okay.
I don't think it's even on Neverware. I think it's only on like Google supported Chromebooks.
To me, instead of if I was using Chrome OS instead of the Play Store, I would just use something like F-Droid.
Yeah, and the
I don't think you can. Can you install F-Droid on Chrome OS?
The new Linux app support is only available on Chromebooks with a kernel newer than 3.14, so I won't be getting those features. So,
What's funny is Android and Chrome OS both run a really ancient version of the Linux kernel.
yeah, but they're different. The Android one runs like a Z, kernel Z or something like that. And if you don't have that, you can't run Play Store. So, yeah. I like Chromebooks. You know, they're cheap. I got my Chromebook brand new from Best Buy for like $99 on a trade-in. It was cheap.
That's a good deal.
It was cheap as dirt. I got two of them. I gave my old one to my wife. It was a C728, sir. It wasn't on the list to receive Android support, so I bought the newer model, the C740. It's the same exact machine. It's just a little bit newer hardware.
Actually though, some people don't realize that you have to be connected to internet to use Chromebooks, pretty much. Like, for example,
A lot of things will work offline, though.
but I'm just
Well, some of the newer ones with the larger hard drives, I think you don't have to go online, do you?
my cousins, someone in my family, I don't know who it was, how I'm related to them, but basically they live in a rural area where they get like dial-up internet, and then they bought a Chromebook because it was all cheap and stuff. Yeah, have fun using that on dial-up.
Right, so Tim F is using pretty much Chrome OS. Yeah, Tim, you had talked about it a month or so ago. We had talked about it, but I think, Tim, you've had zero problems. If I recall correctly, it just works. Now do the Chromebooks have an automatic backup like I think Mac has Back in Time, or not Back in Time, Time Machine?
Well, everything syncs to your Google Cloud account.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand why you would need an automatic backup on a Chromebook because everything syncs to the cloud.
Yeah,
I mean, you only get 16 gigs of storage on it. That's that's less than the nearest USB drive.
Yeah.
I basically use a USB drive as my internal hard drive.
Actually, most Chromebooks these days, once you buy a Chromebook, it comes with 5 years of 100 gigabytes for Google Drive or something like that.
Why?
It should be enough.
I only got 1 year of 100 gigs on drive.
I bought two Chromebooks. I got almost a terabyte worth of free storage on Google Drive, and it doesn't expire for another 4 years.
Yeah, I only got it for 1 year. That's weird.
I wouldn't use only cloud-based. I would use external
like
hard drives. So,
Yeah, but Chromebooks are great. I think they're good devices because they're trouble-free. You don't have to worry about anything. You just turn it on and use it like a household appliance.
So the quality control is better.
Well, they're more simplistic. You don't have to worry about updates. You don't have to just does it on its own. So if you're going to give a computer to someone that isn't very computer savvy, somebody that just needs to go online and do emails or do banking or something like that, Chromebook is an excellent choice.
Yeah.
I for people who are computer illiterate, I recommend Chromebooks and Macs.
Yeah.
Like,
Holy crap! We have a distro release,
what is it?
and it's an old one too. Magina 6.1 has officially released.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares.
Ricky, you should be a soccer announcer. And then the guy says, "Goal!" Remember that when they scored goal?
You made it sound like you sort
know.
of made it sound like it was like a big distro that just
I
came
know.
out, like Linux.
Like
Mint
or like
34
Windows
came out.
11 is being announced or something.
Yeah. You made it sound like that.
So, Tim says 0 issues with Chrome. Everything backs up to cloud. Okay.
I had a really bad day today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've heard about it, pizza.
Yeah.
How could somebody with the name of Pizza have a bad day?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Kind of embarrassing, honestly. I got in school suspension.
Well, you know how many times I've gotten suspended from school? I can't even count them.
I sort of wish I got suspended for like turning off the internet because I didn't want to do work because that'd be a cool reason to get.
Oh, they should give you
But-
points for that. That's pretty
Back when
slick.
I was in the 8th grade, I was on the AB honor roll, and I also spent probably days a week in the principal's office the entire time I was in the 8th grade. So I've done in-school suspension, after-school suspension. I've done that more times than I could count. It's no big deal.
Hey, getting back to
I
Chromebooks, do you have to reboot like in Windows, Matt or Tim?
You do to apply the new updates, but
Okay.
it doesn't matter. What happens is you're just using it, and you'll get like a little icon in the lower right-hand corner that says, there has been an update, reboot to apply, and it just restarts, and you're on the new one.
Are they forced updates or can you choose to defer?
You can opt out, I think.
Okay.
You can choose what channel you're being updated to. I don't know that you can opt out of the regular security updates.
You're forced to do security updates, but they don't automatically restart. It just they apply when you restart. But feature updates are opt out. Security updates though are forced, which makes sense because it's security.
Yeah, Google promises 5 years of OS support from the time of purchase. That doesn't mean it ends in 5 years. They just guarantee that you'll get 5 years.
So when I was in school suspension, halfway through, this new kid comes in. Like he just got in school suspension, and apparently he's going to be suspended tomorrow. They were just putting him in school suspension for the rest of the day, but he got caught with weed at school.
My friend used to sell weed at schools.
I'm 90% sure he actually.
Demonetized. There we go.
Sorry.
What did you do? Suspended.
Me, I got in a fight.
That's it? That's not that big of a deal.
Did you win?
Well, my glasses broke, so.
I guess you lost. Okay.
I sort of started it.
That's not good.
But also I was cornered.
Well, when the one time I got suspended because I threw a kid down 2 flights of stairs because our school was upstairs, and well, he ran up behind me and jerked my backpack really hard and hurt my back. So I chased him up the stairs, grabbed his backpack, and slingshotted him all the way down. He didn't touch the floor until he reached the bottom. So, I had to do push-ups and run laps after school for that.
I used to crack a joke. You remember the Paul Simon song, some of you? Me and Julio singing by the schoolyard. Remember that one?
Not really, no.
Singing me and Julio. I used to sing me and Julio selling by the schoolyard. Anyway.
But I'm 90% sure that this guy, I know he had drugs, but I'm pretty sure he was selling them too, because he knew pretty much everything about drugs. Like people are, because it was just us three, me, the other person I was in the fight with, and then him. But me and the other person kept asking him questions, and he knew everything. And he also knows where to get counterfeit money, and he actually was carrying fake money with him. It wasn't counterfeit though, because there was like a stamp on it that said it was fake or something. There was like a stamp on it, so it wasn't meant to imitate real money. But still, he said that he knows how to get counterfeit money, and he also has not everyone has locks yet for their locker, so he was sneaking into an open locker and he stole cookies out of it, and he tried to look for a phone.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
even if the lockers have a lock on it, what you could do is take a soda can, cut out a piece of the side of it in the shape of a diamond, fold it over on itself, and then you wrap it around the shaft of the lock and push it in, and you basically shim the latch open. You can open up about any modern padlock that way. Don't
Yeah,
ask me how I know that.
that's why I don't use my locker. I have this binder that I use as my backpack, and they don't allow backpacks.
When I
They
was
do allow binders, so I put everything inside my zip-up binder, and I don't use my locker, and then I put my lunch in my pocket.
Well, when I was in school, it was hard to have drugs because the police would show up randomly and run canines all over the school. So
What? Did you live in like a sketchy area?
no, I lived in a good neighborhood, but they wanted to keep it that way. So
Sky Bear is saying, "What's this stream turn into? This is the wise guy meeting." I know, but these people are taking over.
Right.
The main topic tonight was Microsoft disaster. Windows 10 18.9. If you update, it'll delete your
Microsoft
files.
disasters and drugs, same thing.
So yeah. So the point is to back up because you're not necessarily safer in Linux or anything for that matter.
no, but
Right now,
problems
I'm playing Gmod, and
Linux are
What?
typically easier to address than the problems that I have in Windows.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's I've lost files twice in my journeys through computers. They were both Linux.
Yep.
Ironically, not in Windows, but it can happen. It can
has
happen.
anyone else noticed that Ricky was kind of cutting
How
out?
to hide your How to hide your drugs? I'll send them all to your house, so they're not in my house. That's how I
Am,
hide.
am I okay now, Pizza?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
times that I've had file loss in Linux is when those files were saved to an NTFS partition.
Ah.
If I save them FAT32, I don't generally have issues.
I'm playing Gmod right now, and I have like this rocket mod, and I'm just flying around. But it's so weird because like you go after you go up. Once you start going back down, it's hard to go back up. It takes like 3 whole seconds, but it's just fun flying around with the rockets.
I actually have Gmod. It's been a long time since I played it. I may have to start playing it again.
I just got back into it. I used to play this game all the time.
Gave a free game away today.
I just spawn like 400 zombies, and then I just kill them.
Yeah, like you did in your live stream
Yeah.
when you blew all of them up.
Yeah, with a friendship nuke.
Free Trader says, hide your drugs and cookies. Oh, jeez.
Well, if you eat the cookies, but actually, you get a tub of coffee grounds, and the canines usually can't smell it through the coffee grounds. Just
Does coffee do something to dogs?
Well, this used to be a family channel,
No,
but not
it-
tonight.
coffee grounds just smell so strongly it throws the scent off of the dog. That's all.
Okay.
It's not that I would actually know
You
it.
guys, have you guys seen a thing that like people are trading data for coffee?
Yeah, Switch talked about that
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah.
Also,
It's really stupid.
if somebody in your school tries to sell you a postage stamp for $50, you probably shouldn't buy it.
Mm.
You actually, here's a thing, Toss. You actually missed Switch's stream. Mount Vesuvius exploded twice.
I've been there, climbed it years ago in Sicily. It's quite a sight. Yeah, it's quite a sight to be on the
Yeah.
top of that mountain. I won't do it again, that's for sure. But it's quite a journey up there to see a piece of nature very few people get to witness. So
But yeah, in his live stream, he went on fire 2 times tonight.
yeah, no, I've been to the real Mount Vesuvius. Yeah.
Speaking of Italy, we're actually learning about the Roman Empire in class,
Excellent.
and
Nice.
I've noticed that the fall of the Roman Empire
Yeah.
Some of the things that contributed to the fall are happening in America right now.
Have you gotten to the part of the Pax Romana pizza?
Yes, we have.
Very good.
It weakened the military.
A lot of things that caused the Soviet Union to fall are also happening in America right now.
We are the modern Roman Empire. Absolutely.
I haven't studied the fall of the Soviet Union. I should though, because Russian history is one of my favorite topics.
Well, if you have been learning about the Roman Empire, then you probably know that the reason that they fell is because they were investing outside of their own state. Putting up bases and camps and military and occupying so many different places. So much of their money was outside of their own country that when the economy started having problems because they started giving too many riches, it collapsed. And because of all of their assets were outside of their country borders, that they couldn't recover. And that's exactly what's happening to our country.
They overexpanded. They got greedy, and there were one or two emperors who saw it coming. One of them was Hadrian. He built Hadrian's Wall.
Yep.
For a certain time, he stopped, conquering other lands. And there was one other emperor I can't remember who was a little wiser.
Well, that's not what we're learning exactly. The economy was.
If you go to public school, they're not going to tell you the whole truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Stephen Anderson says Trump is Nero.
but
yeah, I never thought about that, but okay.
yeah, that's what I was thinking that
Trump is Commodus. Oh God.
The problem is the public education system in this country does have a bit of a social agenda. So a lot of the facts, Roman Empire, Civil War, Columbus, they're all skewed. They're all left-leaning. And I realized this after I graduated school. I started looking at these things for myself and realized that there's another angle to all of these things that were never taught in school. So
Yeah.
probably facing the same thing. There's because
well,
school is supposed to be all inclusive, they do take a certain approach to how they teach it, and they leave out a lot of stuff.
we did learn how that the economy was part of how the Roman Empire crumbled, but it wasn't from outside investing. The way the textbooks put it was that it was from
I wonder if the Romans would have used Linux or Windows.
Probably
If they had technology.
probably
I wonder what
Windows,
they'd
'cause
be.
it's more mainstream.
I don't know.
Well, the
But
Spartans probably ran BSD.
That's right. Spartan OS. That's right.
But I don't trust modern textbooks. Modern textbooks still tell people that the Civil War was over slavery. Only 5% of the South actually owned slaves, and it was the moral tariff that actually triggered the war. But you will never hear that taught in a public school. So I don't trust modern textbooks.
but
Or the Romans would have had their own OS, Caesar OS.
Maybe.
what it's
But just
actually when
stay
we were
away
first
from-
learning about
Stay away
Julius
from
Caesar,
Brutus package manager.
That's right. The Brutus. That's right. It's a real killer.
Yeah.
Oh.
when we were first learning about Julius Caesar, the first thing someone in our class said was Caesar salad.
I cracked the joke years ago in college. So is that where we get Caesar salad from Julius Caesar? To be
actually,
like, no.
Caesar salad was actually invented in Mexico.
A farmer, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget his real name, but I said Julius Caesar. Well, it's a fair question. No.
Well, there are people in Caesar is a Spanish name, so it
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah. Anyway.
So
But the thing about the economy in Rome that we were taught in the textbooks was that they did mention that it was expanding and they couldn't afford the expansion, but also it was because the emperors were overspending on stuff and they were running out of money to feed the plebeians, which were the peasants basically.
Maybe I should start a second channel, the Total Romans Today or something.
Yeah.
but it's the same thing that's happening here. It wasn't about expanding and not being able to afford it. It was the lust for power. That's what.
Yeah, the emperors were overspending.
Greed.
The other thing is that the emperors kept getting assassinated. Like there was 1 year where there was like 3 emperors in 1 year,
What's
but they
happening
kept getting assassinated.
in government You know, comparing our own government of today to what happened, it's not much difference between the two.
Yeah. Wait, what time is it?
There's an old joke that says you can't have everything. Where would you put it? It makes sense, you know. But
Well, I think the biggest problem to our economy is the Federal Reserve. They just won't stop printing money. And the side effect of that is that the overall value of the dollar decreases. And if
Well,
it's
we're-
Yeah.
going in that
But-
direction,
20,
But
21
also,
trillion
every
in debt.
country's
Yeah.
doing that. So
Mhm.
the value, wow, it will cost more. It will cost more money to buy the same thing. Compared to other currencies, the value is still the same because everyone's doing it.
yeah, but see the problem that's not true. Look at what's happening in Venezuela right now. It's a complete disaster over there.
Well, that's because they printed like $1 million a second. Not that much, but
We're going down that same road with the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that America is probably going to split into four soon.
Maybe.
Like, not individual states. I feel like the West Coast, so California, Oregon, Nevada, and Washington, will become Catalonia. You know that movement. The East Coast will still be the U.S., and then Louisiana and Texas will both be independent, and they will probably be great allies. And maybe the West Coast might be allies with the East, because both of them would be liberal, and Texas and Louisiana would probably be conservative. But the liberals on the East and the West Coasts, those they might be great allies, but at the same time, they might have sour relationships due to, you know, them just declaring independence, you know?
Yeah.
But the problem with that is because of the way that our current states and government is structured, you would have to have a full, complete collapse of the existing sovereignty of this country before you could have a succession on that scale. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
you would have to have some sort of massive social and economic and governmental collapse to get to that point.
I believe it's going to happen at some point, though.
Well, a lot of economists have stated that a financial collapse of the United States economy is a mathematical certainty. It's just a question of when. But there may be a contingency plan using an alternative currency at some point. That idea
Well,
has been talked about too, but it's
Problem is, though, is right now, most of the world uses US dollars because it's one of the most stable currencies. So if the US moved currencies to like the euro or something, and the euro has its own problems because it has to match all of these countries that have completely different economies. But if it did move currencies, everyone else would have to move currencies.
You realize that if you believe in the Bible and the book of Revelation, you guys are all wrong because in the end it won't matter, right?
Yeah. true.
So, if you believe
I've
it,
never read the Bible.
Um,
I'm
yeah.
Alternative
I'm probably
Uh,
going to read the Old Testament just for the history.
Yeah, according to the alternative currency thing you mentioned, there's another one that has been mentioned called the Amero. You know how in Europe you have the euro with the European Union, the three branches over there. There
Yeah.
was some talks about forming an American Union with Mexico, Canada, and the United States, and then introducing this new currency called the Amero. It would be a socialist structure of governments, but that idea has been presented.
Yeah, the problem with the euros is that it has to match currency for all different for a whole bunch of different economies. You know,
Yeah, and the problem with
that's
that
the
is the
problem
whole
with
Brexit.
the Amero too.
Yeah, the whole Brexit situation threw a big monkey wrench into that, and that's why you have the issue with like today in Greece. Just look at the state of the currency in Greece; it's a complete disaster. So,
Mhm.
And I have to go in 2
apparently,
minutes,
apparently
so
nothing trumps corruption.
no,
No.
I have to go in 2 minutes, so
Anyway,
I'll wrap my.
Have a good night, pizza.
You
all
too.
right. All right, so getting back to the topic, which was Romans. No, it wasn't Romans. The Microsoft update disaster. I got a notification today, the 18.09. I
think
don't believe it's a forced update, so don't do it because it will apparently delete your files, but it'll save your empty folders.
it,
Basi-
It
Yeah.
was an automatic update. I think they undid that. But if
Okay.
you go to your Windows control panel and push check for updates, it will install.
Yes, I
So
believe that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would wait till next week. I'm sure they'll have a fix for it. By the way, there's also another problem. The next big update, I don't think it's this one. It won't tell you if you have enough hard drive space. It'll be between 10 and 20 gigs. It won't tell you. And if you do it without you checking that you have enough space, it could bork your system, from what I read, which is a no-no, Microsoft.
my
Why would
God.
If that's
Microsoft
true.
do that?
well,
If
this
that's
update,
true.
this
Yeah.
update was 27.6 gigs on my system,
Really? Wow.
and
Wow.
yeah, the
And then
issue
you have those netbooks that only have like 64 gigs on it.
from what I was gathering.
Really that much? Jeez. Okay, that seems
Yeah,
a lot. I don't
actually,
know.
my stepmom
Okay.
has like a netbook with only 64 gigs.
Wow.
Well, you can download the update and not occupy as much space if you download the media creation tool and do an in-place upgrade that way.
Mm.
It's a little bit
Okay.
smaller. But the issue with the file deletion that they're reporting, based on what I've been looking up, it seems to only be happening to people that have one hard drive with one continuous partition. People that have data split up into multiple partitions don't seem to be having this issue.
That's sort of a really stupid issue.
Hmm.
Microsoft should really check that stuff
Yeah.
before they push an update.
Well, look who's here. It's our good buddy Colin.
Hi, Colin. From Australia, mate.
Well, there's somebody that I know that used to work for Microsoft, and he says back in the day, like the Windows 7 days, they had an entire department at Microsoft, a big room filled with all kinds of different hardware systems and everything, and they would test these updates and stuff on these various systems.
Hmm.
Over like the last 5 years, they've disbanded that entire department, and they don't do any of those.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I know a lot of people from Microsoft because I'm in the Seattle area.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, I have to go now.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, Pizza.
Good
Take
night,
care, man.
buddy.
For a good stream.
All right. Thank you.
This video, the video uploaded earlier about this update, I ripped into Windows pretty hard. But
Well, we should.
Well, in the second half of the video, there were some features that I had to give them credit for. Like that, there's some changes to the way they're doing privacy now.
Hmm.
They have a new clipboard manager, but that clipboard syncs. Like if you copy text or something on this machine, it'll sync to the cloud, and then you can go to a different computer and paste it over there.
Hmm.
That's an interesting feature. But when you go into the settings and actually look at those settings, there's a little toggle switch that says sync with cloud. Directly beneath it, there's a button where you can read the entire Microsoft privacy policy, and it's opt-in, not opt-out.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can click on the button, read the privacy policy, and make an
Okay.
educated choice whether you
Okay.
want to have that feature.
Okay.
I'm seeing that in many places inside of the Windows settings now. It's a move in the right
Okay.
direction.
So basically, Microsoft has taken steps to try to reduce the privacy a little bit.
Well, the features, I mean, there are certain features that just have to push data to the cloud, like the timeline feature that syncs across devices. Cortana gets web results from the internet. The speech synthesis engine can't all run on your computer. It's too technical for that. So,
DT made me laugh. He says, make sure you hit the like button, not the lie button.
Yeah.
This is all a lie. All my guests are lying. No, I'm just kidding.
So
That's a good one, the lie button.
this update, they are getting better about privacy. They still have a long way to go, but
Yeah.
They do.
I think they're starting to get the message.
Mhm.
So,
They definitely
you know.
are.
I mean, the thing is, out of the entire Windows structure, the biggest thing that is a detrimental to our privacy with Windows 10 is Cortana herself.
I like Cortana.
Yeah,
Think about it. Think about Windows has the virtual sexy assistant Cortana. Linux has Linus.
Cortana system isn't really a big privacy issue because you have to look at how it operates. How would that assistant function if it wasn't linked to the web? It probably wouldn't work. So you kind of need that link to Microsoft in order to get those features. The problem comes into play is when you actually read the Microsoft policy about privacy,
Yeah.
and they tell you, well, we have the right to access your files. We have the right to sell them to advertisers. We have the right to view your personal folders. That's where the privacy policy comes in. You can, you know, I was reading the privacy policy on the last version, the spring update, and it says that they look at who your contacts are, who you're in a relationship with, who your favorite
Oh
sports
my god.
who the who your friends' favorite sports teams are. All of that information is in plain text in the privacy policy for the April spring update. It's all in there. That's
Now,
a privacy issue.
It wouldn't be so bad if we were giving them our product and they were paying us a commission, but
Yeah.
they're not. Then there would be some form. I still wouldn't like it, but at least there would be some form of compensation. You
There
know.
will be.
I mean, at least give us at least a partial master on-off switch at the most.
Yeah, but,
I
but a lot of the people that have these like pre-installed apps and stuff, these are people that got that took advantage of the free Windows 10 upgrade. They got Windows for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have to make up for that somehow, and they're going to
You sell your soul.
Yeah, they're going to do that by selling your data to advertisers. That's how they're going to
Yeah.
make that money.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. 5-minute warning. I'm going to go to bed here shortly. But yeah, it's the terms of usage agreement Windows 10 is pretty intense. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it-
intense. Yeah.
If you actually go and read it, which I have, there is some stuff in there that makes your eyebrows go up.
I don't like it.
No,
I don't like the politics of it. I've said it before. In terms of the technology, it usually works. Not today. But does it work? It does. Does gaming, do all the drivers work, video and all that stuff? Yeah, it works. Everything the way I want it to work works. But it's starting to feel bloated. You know, updates still take too long, you know.
Well, the problem with the privacy policy is you have to ask, what purpose does this information serve? And I can't justify some of it. Like, why do they need to know who my favorite sports team is and who I'm in a relationship with? What purpose does that information serve Microsoft?
Targeted ads.
Targeted ads and store suggestions. That's mainly what they're going for. I mean, the thing is, it's like Microsoft is trying to get every little detail about you when they have no right to do that.
Yeah, well,
But if you agree to it, then that's their right.
some of the privacy policy, I believe, is just lawyer speak. You know, just we put this provision in there just to cover ourselves for all scenarios. You know, that I believe some of that's probably going on, but you know, when you actually sit down and read the privacy policy, it makes your eyebrows go up. It really-
Yeah, there's some creepy stuff in that privacy policy that they're doing.
Yeah.
Feature with
Yeah.
new iPhones. Did you hear about that one?
The chips, the Chinese chips, yeah.
Well, not that. I'm talking about the Siri itself.
Not that part, no.
If you tell Siri, like if you're in a car and you say, "Hey Siri, I'm being pulled over," Siri will start recording your interaction until you tell it to stop. That's interesting, and I think it's kind of a sign of the times when police all across the country are such a problem that this has to be a standard feature.
Yeah.
But it is a nice
Yeah.
feature to have. Hey, I'm getting
Yeah,
pulled
yeah.
over, Siri, and then it records the audio.
Yeah. Hey,
True.
Toss, I think we got somebody new.
Who?
Look at the very bottom of the chat. Somebody.
No, he's Dobry. He's been here before. Hi, Dobry.
Oh, okay.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up soon. This was an unscheduled live event because of the Microsoft disaster
So
today.
back
but yeah.
here, I'm in the process of fixing Windows by installing Ubuntu.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, once Ubuntu releases their final, what is it, October 20th, 20-something this month? Yeah. For the final version. I did look at it. Matthew, you made some good points, by the way, about what is polished. See, the problem is, for me to keep talking about Linux over I had to lower my standards, because if I was as high standard as you, I probably wouldn't be here today. So, but Matt, you made some good points, but I'm just not that high of a standard guy when it comes to Linux. So
Theming is so easy. I can
I know.
the theme config files and fix that stuff.
I know.
A big,
I'm just
I mean-
not that picky to themes, and I just gave up because I see it all the time, but I gave up.
I
Yeah.
mean, and all I gotta say about Windows 10 is it may work, but the privacy policy in terms of service, it needs a major overhaul.
yeah, they're starting to work with it. The privacy policy has changed a little bit with this new update. Microsoft is slowly going in that direction. A lot of the features, like I said, like the clipboard and stuff, there are still some privacy issues there, but they've made it an opt-in, not an opt-out. And when you go to that setting in your settings panel, there's a link to the
Okay.
privacy policy sitting right next to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what they need to do is all the features that affect privacy, they just need to make every single one of them
know,
opt-in.
It makes me wonder if maybe they're feeling the heat from the sale of Chromebooks, Mac, the emergence sort of more Linux use or more curiosity for Linux. I think they're feeling the pressure. So
And the
Windows actually lost market share recently. There was an article published. I think it was CNET. I'm not sure who it was.
yeah,
But Windows 10 actually lost
yes,
market share,
and Windows 7 gained. I know.
and Windows 7 gained market.
Imagine that. Windows 7 is still good, by the way. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Keep it.
The thing about Windows 7 though is once 2020 hits, here comes the expiration date, except
I
for
know.
Enterprise.
Who
Yeah.
knows if that'll change? Oh,
But,
yeah.
but let me ask you this question. How many people are running Windows 7 that actually install all of those painful updates? Most people, I don't think it would matter that
Yeah.
soon, because they're not installing the updates anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's people out there still running XP. Windows XP market share is still higher than Linux market share right now. So
I know.
it's sad, isn't it?
God, that's embarrassing for
The thing
Linux
about
anyway. Yeah.
the thing about Windows XP, it is, in my opinion, the best Windows operating system they've ever made because, yeah, it just works.
I got to go with 7 being the best. That one just worked.
I did have some issues with Windows 7 recently. Some of the security certificate stuff inside of Windows, like the root CA stuff, expired, and I couldn't update them.
That's odd.
It was on
Yeah.
my mom's computer. She had a
Okay.
really old computer, and she used her computer to do online banking, but she couldn't log in because the security certificates were expired.
Yeah, that's strange.
Able to install updates on Windows 7 because her computer's so old and so slow. Just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
process of
Yeah.
checking for updates locked that computer slam up.
So with Chromebooks, if all you do is do stuff online, Chromebooks are perfectly fine then, Matt, right?
yeah, I don't have any issue
Okay.
with Chromebooks. I mean,
Okay.
they're for the most part trouble-free devices.
Okay.
You can think of a Chromebook as less of a computer and more of a household appliance. You know, you just flip the switch and just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
easy.
And the thing about Chromebooks is they are quickly becoming a go-to Linux standard.
It is a Linux standard, just like Android phones are a Linux standard.
What was
So,
it in 2015, 2016? I think it was 2015. Chromebooks accounted for 20% of all PC sales.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so
That's a lot when you think. And they started like $100 on sale. You were saying, up to
Well-
1,000 for the Pixel Book, I think it's called.
yeah, but see, Chrome OS is so limited. I think it's foolish to get something that high end on Chrome OS because it's a waste.
Well, now you can install Linux apps in some of those, right?
Yeah, on the newer ones you can, but you have
Yeah.
to have a kernel newer than 3.14,
Okay.
which my book here does not. So
Okay.
I won't be getting those features, unfortunately. But
Okay.
certain models, a lot of the Intel-based ones, you can put regular Linux on them. It's not officially supported. But the reason why I would suggest somebody might want to buy one that has that ability is that they're not going to be supported forever. 5, 6, 7 years down the road, they're not going to be getting updates anymore.
Okay.
If you still want to use that hardware, it would be nice to have the compatibility to be able to just install something else on it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you get one of these ARM-based ones, they are cheaper, but you're not going to have that option down the road. So
Yeah.
I would say get an Intel-based one for that purpose.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm about to get off here to get ready for Betty Bye. But before I do, everybody smash that like button. Support everybody here.
It is the like, not the lie button, by the way. DT made a mistake. It's the like, not lie.
Yeah, like button.
All right. Anyway, so once again, back up, and back up. It doesn't matter what you use. It's possible to lose anything in anything. It's happened to me in Linux twice.
The
So
backup of your backup.
do a backup of your backup. Have multiple external hard drives. Google Drive, cloud services are okay. That's not my preferred method. I don't entirely trust them, but
I use Clonezilla. I image my system to an external drive, and then I make
Yes.
a copy of that drive and put that one away in a drawer.
yeah.
That's the way I do it. And people, if you have the option, if you have very sensitive, very important data, if you have the option, it's also a very good idea to have a backup off-site.
Mhm.
You know, like if there's a flood or a fire or something,
Right.
you can still get that data.
Well, they make those special safes that are fireproof, right? Something like that. It's
Yeah,
like
I have a
it's
fire-
kind of like a gun safe, even though it's not a gun safe that you're buying, but something like that, you know.
I have a fireproof safe.
Okay.
It's a big, bulky, heavy thing. It's,
Well, you don't need to get a big one like for a
oh, it's
gun
not
or
big.
nothing.
It's,
Yeah.
it's about the size of a shoebox, but the darn thing weighs like 30 pounds.
Well, because it's fireproof, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, there you go. So what's yeah.
well, the space inside of it is very, very small, but the walls on this thing are like 4 or 5 inches thick. So you know, it's supposed to. It's got like a little weather strip. It's supposed to be like waterproof, fireproof,
Okay.
all that stuff. So, but the
Well.
problem is, I live in an apartment. If there is a fire, they're not going to let me back up here to get the darn thing. So,
Yeah.
if there is a fire, I guess the first thing I need to do is just pick that thing up and jump.
Or just have the fireman toss it to you. Here you go.
Yeah.
Well, on
Bye.
that note, guys, I'm out of
Yep.
here. So, all right,
Yep.
thank you for joining me tonight for this late minute thing. Again,
If you
back
have
up, back up, and
Uh-huh.
back up again.
if you have anything planned for tomorrow, let me know and I'll be around.
I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. More than likely Sunday morning for a Good Morning Linux.
All right.
Isn't Big Daddy Linux doing something tomorrow?
Yeah, he's usually on Saturday nights at 10:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be gone in the morning. I'm driving quite a ways away to go to some book event that wife wants to go to. So.
yeah, Sunday mornings I'll jump on for my European friends to jump on at a more friendly hour. That's what I do with the Good Morning Linux on Sundays. So, but I'll probably be on for that one. Okay. All right, everybody in the chat, thank you, Ricky and Matt, for joining tonight. And again, the moral of the story is you can never have enough backups.
See you later.
Have a good night. Bye bye.